Uncle Sam nears a massive banking housing bailout. Ooh, that's what Jimmy P. of U.S. News and World Report says. James Pethokoukis. We're going to debate this. We have other guests, Kudlow and Company contributor Jerry Bowyer, Benchmark Financial and National Review Online, and a special guest, Vermont Independent Senator Mr. Bernie Sanders. First of all, let me get the thesis before we can discuss it. Jimmy Pethokoukis, were you in a bad mood when you wrote this?
Listen, I'm just reflecting what my sources are telling me. Look, the same people who 2-3 weeks ago said no bailout for homeowners, this week they're saying yes, that they think that we are going to have a bailout. As the credit crunch worsens, as we're seeing things with Bear Stearns, it's become more and more likely. And listen, there are people who are calling for a lot more than just this Barney Frank, let the FHA refinance people's mortgages plan. But you got a guy like John Lipsky, who's no communist, over at the IMF, basically saying, you know what, we may have to nationalize the banks by injecting capital, buying stock, buying debt, the federal government.
Well,
you know where this thing is going.
We already nationalized them 2 segments ago.
That's right.
Senator Sanders, I interviewed President Bush on Friday. He says absolutely no to the $4 billion to buy empty, abandoned homes. Absolutely no to bankruptcy judges changing loans and setting interest rates. Absolutely no to having delinquent borrowers be covered by the FHA. And Mr. Bush is, I think, properly concerned that all these interferences, a la the New Deal, will not allow markets to eventually solve this problem by adjusting prices. Your thought, Mr. Sanders?
Well, my thought is that President Bush is as competent about the economy as he is about Iraq and global warming and every other area that he has ventured into. The reality is, I think most Americans... A little bit of a cheap shot, wouldn't you say, sir? A little bit of a cheap shot. No, not at all.
A modest cheap shot.
No, unfortunately,
we're doing very well
I wish it was, Larry. It happens to be true. This is the most incompetent administration in modern American history. But, to the point, Mr. Bush is saying, no, we just should not be involved in trying to salvage homes for working families. We can't help them with lower interest rates. Oh, yeah, but I guess it is okay, after telling us a few days ago that we should not overreact, it's okay to put hundreds of billions of dollars into bailing out large investment houses. So I think there's a bit of an inconsistency there that has people scratching their head.
All right, Jerry Bowyer, Senator makes an interesting point. If nothing else, politically, you've got $600 and something billion coming out of the Fed, and there are homeowners in trouble, Jerry. How do you react to what Senator Sanders just said?
Well, I don't know. What does he want? Does he want to abolish the Fed? I mean, we've got a Fed. They're the lender of last resort, so that's what they do. I wish they had done it sooner. With Bear Stearns, I wish that they had modernized their portfolio so that they could do discount window operations for Bear Stearns like they do for regular banks. So I want a central bank. Maybe Senator Sanders has joined the John Birch Society and wants to get rid of the Fed.
No, how about that's
I don't think that is my position.
That was Ron Paul's view. Are you endorsing Ron Paul?
Yeah, he's a Ron Paul Republican now.
All right, serious vein.
Is...
Jimmy P. sees bigger and bigger bailouts. That was the essence of his article today and this segment. Jerry Bowyer, quickly, and we'll get back to Senator and back to Jimmy P. Do you sense, Jimmy, that everyone's caving in? Is President Bush caving in? Because I didn't have that sense when I interviewed him.
Well, I thought, after listening to that speech and your interview, I thought he left the door open. I mean, Larry, how did you feel when President Bush kept talking up that rebate? I mean, did your stomach sink a little bit?
But he did. He said specifically that this wasn't acceptable, this wasn't acceptable, that wasn't acceptable, Jimmy. I thought that was pretty strong language. Let me get, Mr. Sanders, do you expect a bill? Tell me what your wish list bill would be, and then we're going to take a break and you all are going to come back. What would you like to see right now, sir?
Larry, in all seriousness, I think that in my state of Vermont and all over this country, working people are really nervous about the economy. I mean, you look at $4 plus for home heating oil, the high price of gasoline at the pump, the cost of health care soaring, more and more people losing their health insurance, and now you're seeing what some people suggest might be an international financial meltdown. These are scary times, and I think what the people want in a democratic, civilized government is the government to respond to protect their jobs and protect their standard of living.
All right, we're going to come back to it. That's an important point of view. Don't go anywhere. Everyone's going to come back. Is it the market? Is it the government? Do we need more economic freedom, or do we need more collectivism? Kudlow and Company, stay with us.